Not in the kitchen today, in the garden, coat on. It's getting a bit chilly, autumn is here. The reason we're in the garden is because I've got a couple of apple trees at the back and they've been giving me loads of fruit all September and October. You kind of run out of recipes after a while. I've done crumble, I've done apple fall, I've done apple and pork, all that kind of stuff. Today I'm going to do apple tart tatin. There's about 2 or 3 apples left on the tree. Come on, let's go pick them. Ta-da! Right, inside now for some tart tatin. Follow me. You will need 50 grams of butter, 50 grams of caster sugar, a teaspoon of cinnamon, 6 apples peeled, quartered and cored, and a packet of ready rolled puff pastry. So here we are in the kitchen, apples inside with us now. I'm using about 5 for this recipe, but it depends on the size of your apples. Basically you need enough to fill a pan like that, quite snugly. So first of all, the boring job, we have to peel the apples. And we're chopping them into quarters, popping them into this bowl, and because we don't want them to brown, this is my mum always taught me this, spritz of lemon juice. This tart tatin is so easy. Last night we had it with soup, not with soup. We ate soup first and then we had the tart tatin afterwards. And it's quite nice because it feels like quite a decadent dessert. So if you have something like soup first, you kind of feel, probably wrongly, that I've earned my pudding. And next, over to the stove, and I'm going to caramelise 50 grams of butter with 50 grams of caster sugar. So you can buy a special tart tatin pan. I'm just using a heavy oven-proof frying pan to save money. It's about 20 centimetres wide, medium heat. In goes the 50 grams of butter, plop. And once this is melted, I'm going to put the sugar in it. And you just need to be careful that the sugar doesn't catch, it doesn't burn. But you want the sugar to melt and start getting caramelly, which means like it thickens up. Right, you can see the consistency is changing. I'm just going to turn the heat down ever so slightly. And if you can see it's sort of getting thicker, starting to caramelise. So I'm going to pop the cinnamon in. You can't put it in before because, as I found out to my detriment last night, if you put it in before, you can't see how well the sugar's caramelising, and if it burns, basically, you won't notice. There we go. Some tart tatins are really beautifully, you know, stacked together and in lovely shapes. Mine is called a higgledy-piggledy tart tatin because I'm literally just going to pop all those delicious fresh apples in any old fashion. It still looks beautiful, but it just saves a bit of time. Now they will all fit in eventually because they do break down a bit, so I'm just going to pop that on a lower heat and leave it to cook, keeping a careful eye on it for 10 minutes. And what happens is the juices from the apples go into the caramel, but eventually the sauce thickens up, and after about 10 minutes that's when you're ready to put the pastry on top. I'm going to take the heat off. This is the fun bit, the hot bit. Here's my ready rolled, ready made puff pastry. And literally, just going to pop it over. And then I'm just going to get the scissors. You can save the trimmings for jam tarts or something like that. And cut it round here and prick it all over like that. And it's going to go into the oven at 180 for about 20 minutes. Come with me. In she goes. Set the timer. So I've allowed that to rest so it settles a bit. Now I'm going to flip it over. Make sure, because it's easy to forget that this has been in the oven for a long time and the handle's still really hot. I'm going to flip it over. 1, 2, 3. Lovely. There we go. Missing a couple from the top, but there we have a delicious higgledy-piggledy tart tatin. Here goes. Oh, that's so yummy. So yummy. Good hot, good cold. There we go, apple tart tatin. It's a lovely way to use up lovely seasonal fruit. Really good. My mum is going to be very pleased with this. Yeah. Hello, winter is coming. The nights are getting a little bit longer and we're craving a lot more carbohydrate, a lot more potatoes, pasta, cakes in this house. So one of my kids' favourites is a lid on potato.